Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. My name is Amir Bahari and today we are broadcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And in today's topic this is the second series of An-Nasihin talking about the issues revolving around inheritance. Yep. And with me today, I've got our panel of distinguished guests. We have Puan Farah Diba, Sofian, and Datuk Richard Abbas, our special guest, Windy from Indonesia, Tuan Adi Effendi, and myself, Amir Bahari. And tonight, we will begin today's session with each panelist introducing themselves in 30 seconds, sharing their name, their company, and who do they wish to help. And I begin with Mr. Adi. Over to you, Adi.
Thank you very much, Tuan Amir. Assalamualaikum. My name is Adi Effendi, and I am an actor. I've been around for just quite a bit now. I've been acting in several commercials, predominantly Unify. I'm the current marketing campaign for, the face of current marketing campaign for Unify, as well as a few other products. And I've also been on TV drama, most recently on Kampung Pisang Bersiri-Siri as one of the 6 main casts. And I have also been in a movie, Pascal, back in 2018. And I'm also a master of ceremonies. I MC events and I give workshops on presentation skills. My signature will be the persuasive and convincing presentation skills. So yeah, I'm looking for corporations who would like me to conduct workshops for them on persuasive and convincing presentation skills. Thank you. Back to you, Tuan Amir.
Thank you very much, Adi. Now I would like to give the floor to Datuk Richard Abbas. Datuk, 30 seconds. Over to you now.
Thank you, Chair Amir. Good evening. My name is Richard. I'm an accountant by training, a company auditor by registration. I do a lot of work with corporate structures and limited liability partnerships. And this has led me to work with these fine ladies and gentlemen on creating multi-generational global family estate plans. Nice to be here. Thank you for your kind invitation.
Thank you very much, Dato'. Now I'm making way to Puan Farah Diba. Puan Farah, over to you.
You're on mute.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Puan Amir and Datuk Richard and Adi. And hi, Windy. Welcome to Kuala Lumpur, I suppose, for joining us. I'm Farah Diba. I'm a practicing lawyer. I've been in practice for about 30 years. It's a long time. I specializes in inheritance and succession law. Who do I like to help? Anyone and everyone who I can help. And I do hope I basically assist executors, administrators, and trustees, in their estate administration or their trust administration work. And I advise beneficiaries and the estate in terms of their inheritance and succession. So I basically do, in Malay would be harta pusaka lah. Yeah, so that's what I do generally. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Farah. Now I would like to invite Windy all the way from Jakarta, Indonesia. You have 1 minute to the floor. Over to you, Windy.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum. Hi, everyone. I'm Windy. Actually, my complete name is Windy Arti. I'm from Pioneer Chapter BNI Jakarta. But friends call me Windy. I'm a founder and director of Swanapada Intellectual Indonesia. Our office in Bintaro Business Center, Jakarta. Actually, we are registered intellectual property consultant on the official of Minister of Law and Human Rights of Republic Indonesia. Our mission supporting creator business ideas with protect their intangible asset. We are 12 years experiences in intellectual property field, and actually our best referral partners are overseas intellectual property consultant, company secretary or legal services, digital marketing, or business owner who need to expand their market in Indonesia or outside Indonesia with protect their IP. Back to you, Amir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Windy. Now it's my turn. Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Amir Bahari. This is a can. You don't want to be in a can because it is small. There's not much room to maneuver. And it's very highly pressured. That's where I come in. I help my clients to make sure that their marriage, their work, their assets, and their relationship stays out of the can by doing marriage agreement, wills, trust, and LLP. I'm Amir Bahari from Bahari and Bahari. Plan when you can before you are canned in the plan. Thank you. And tonight, I would like to start the ball rolling today with our legal sketch. Windy, I shall rename you as Cinta, right? Okay, let me...
The sketch is in English, yeah?
It's in English, correct.
All right.
Okay, let me see. For some reason, I cannot change your name. Is there any way? How? Cinta, okay. Cinta, Adi, can you change your name?
I
I
have
think
changed
you
my
change-
name.
Yes, you change. Yep, you can change from your side. I cannot change for you. Adi, can you change your name to Tuan Syamsul? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, are we good to start now? We're good to start?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, good evening, Puan Cinta and Tuan Syamsul, Counsel Syamsul. First of all, we'd like to welcome you to An-Nasihin, and we thank you very much for coming to our office to address your legal concern. Before we begin our meeting today, right, I would just like to inform you that we've prepared the non-disclosure agreement to confirm the fact that whatever discussed in our meeting today remains private and confidential.
Okay, thank you, Chair Amir. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good. Thank you.
Counsel Syamsul.
Yeah, sorry. My name is Samsul. I'm a Malaysian lawyer, but now based in Jakarta together with Puan Cinta, and I'm representing her. But thank you very much for the NDA, and I take it that the NDA is cross border. Yeah, it's applicable for both our countries, yeah, in Indonesia and also in Malaysia.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You come recommended by a contact of mine, I just, because I don't know you personally, honestly, I don't know any of you really, except for this Dato' Richard Abbas. You look vaguely familiar. I think you appeared on a TV something. But anyway, but the three of you, you don't mind, you are practicing lawyers in Malaysia, yes?
Yes, Puan Farah and I, we are
fully
practicing.
licensed.
We are fully licensed and fully professionally indemnified.
Really. Okay. If you are who you say you are, then tell me who is the Chief Justice of Malaysia now?
The Chief Justice is Yang Amat Arif Tun Tengku Maimun binti Tuan Mat.
Okay, good. Okay. What about in Sabah and Sarawak? Yeah.
He will be Yang Amat Arif Dato' Abang Iskandar bin Abang Hashim.
Okay. You check out. You check out. Very good. Okay. Well, to lawyers, true to your salt. Okay, go ahead, please. Sure. Madam Cinta, I think they're good. They're good. Yeah.
So, Madam Cinta, we received the client brief from our junior counsel, and today we're here to further clarify the legal issues that is mentioned and picked up in the earlier counsel brief. So, is it okay if we ask you certain questions with regard to our meeting today? Puan Cinta, you're muted. Can you hear me?
Madam,
Yes.
you need to reply. Yes.
Okay, right. I understand that there is lagging between Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta, but it's okay. In case you need time, you just inform us. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the lag is because of your connection. I think you should upgrade to Unify. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Council Shamsul and Puan Cinta. Now, may I know what would you like to talk about today?
Here's the problem with my client here. You see, in 2015, she got married to this gentleman by the name of Mikhail. Later on, it was discovered that Madam Cinta here is actually his second wife. He's a Malaysian. Mikhail is a Malaysian, and through as a result of the marriage, they got 3 children. And but their marriage it was not registered in Malaysia. It so happens that Mikhail had a wife, the first wife in Malaysia, and is it okay if or we like to hear from Madam Cinta herself?
I think it's best that we hear from Madam Cinta herself.
Madam Cinta, yes, go ahead, Madam. Yeah, what you
Yes,
told me,
alright.
you can tell them.
Madam Cinta, you can.
That's a lag. Yeah, you have to pardon us. Yeah, you need to really consider upgrade to Unify.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Tuan Samsul, for the time. Actually, I was married with Mikhail.
May I know when were you married with him?
I have married Mikhail in 2015. Like, yeah,
Mm.
yes,
Mm.
yes, Tuan Amir.
Okay, was the marriage registered anywhere?
The marriage was supposedly registered in marriage office in Jakarta, but the marriage was not reported to the Malaysian embassy and the relevant Malaysian authorities in Malaysia.
Mm.
Do
Very
you know why?
unfortunate.
And I
Do
have
you know
asked
why?
my husband regarding about this, why our marriage was not reported to the relevant Malaysian authorities. My late husband said that he was afraid with his with Diana, his wife, and
Diana is the first wife in Malaysia.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's afraid that his first wife would flip and ask for divorce because of this, and we have discussed it, and my late husband assured that when the time is right, he will register our marriage in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Mm. Mm.
Now, from what I'm hearing is that your marriage is registered in Jakarta, but not in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, I confirm that too.
Okay, right. May I know how many children do you have from the marriage?
I have 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son. The eldest is 5 years, the second daughter's 3 years, and my youngest boy is 1.5 years old.
Yeah. I'm their godfather. I was there when they were born.
Oh, okay. It's good to know that. It's good to
Yeah.
know that.
Mm.
Okay. Madam Cinta, can you tell us whether do you know Diana, the first wife of Mikhail, firsthand?
We've never met each other actually, but Mikhail has told me about Diana before.
But she did. Diana did call Cinta at one time. Yeah.
Yeah. After my late husband passed away, Diana called me, contact me, and he mentioned about he discovered about the documents in my late husband's safe regarding about our marriage.
So that was the first time they were in communication.
Okay, and may I know what was communicated?
Actually, Diana mentioned about he assured that I and my children will have a right to inherit my late husband assets, and is secure and guaranteed. She said like that, and provided that the marriage is registered and recognized under the Malaysian law. I just want to make sure whether it capable. Yeah, it can register in Malaysian, even though that in fact that my late husband was passed away, and then I only registered in Indonesia. Is that we can? I just want to make sure the inheritance right for the children and secure. Only that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see,
Depends
as you
on-
can see, it's a very sensitive thing right now. So we would like to have this settled as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay, I understood. So, Puan Madam Cinta, what I'm hearing is you were married in Jakarta. The marriage was not registered in Kuala Lumpur, and
Yes.
you've got a phone call by Diana mentioning that she would like to give you and your children the right, provided the marriage is registered and or recognized under the Malaysian Court of Law. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, right. Now, when we talk about the marriage, can I ask you probe further with regard to the marriage?
Regarding what?
Okay, can I start by asking when did the marriage take place?
When the date?
The date, correct.
The date. Okay, the date. Madam Cinta, no, according to my record that I have here that Madam Cinta shared with me, 31st August 2015. Yeah, I was there also. I was one of the saksi nikah.
Or you were the witness to the
Yes.
solemnization of marriage.
We
Okay.
yeah, we were friends.
May I know who arranged the marriage?
Madam, you want to answer this?
My late husband was arranged the marriage.
Yeah, it was before the authorities here. Yeah, there's this
And
this gentleman. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead. Yeah,
yeah,
go
and
ahead.
the marriage was
Sorry?
Okay,
and
because of the lag.
when
Yeah.
the solemnization of marriage between me and my late husband was arranged by Ustad Darma,
That's right.
by
That's his
Ustad
name.
Darma, and
Who-
Wali Hakim
Wali
was
Hakim.
Ustad Agung Wijaya.
May
This
I
is
know
my
why?
first marriage.
May,
And,
your- the-
yeah,
may I
Sorry.
know why? May I know why was there a need to use a Wali Hakim
yeah.
for your marriage?
Because actually I am an orphan. My parents was passed away because actually we are from Aceh.
From Aceh, there's a lag.
Yeah,
there.
because
From Aceh. Madam.
my my late parents was from Aceh because of tsunami. So then they passed away, and then we all moved to Jakarta.
Yeah, but that happened, the tsunami. I don't know whether they got news or not in Malaysia, but at that time, there was tsunami in Aceh. It was in Boxing Day. Yes.
Yes, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Mm.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Now, tell me that now we've made to understand that you have forwarded the document for us to be evaluated vis-a-vis to ensure its authenticity and its acceptable level in the Malaysian court. Is that correct, Madam Cinta?
Yes, I think my office has forwarded to you the document.
Yes,
Okay, right.
Yes, I
Okay.
have sent the
Actually, we
copy
have.
marriage certificate to An-Nasihin.
Okay, just like to inform you that we have forwarded the document to the Indonesian embassy in Kuala Lumpur, and our counterpart has cross-checked the document in Jakarta, and I will share with you the result shortly. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, may I know, Puan Cinta, what is your school of thought or mazhab that you profess? The madhab that you profess?
Madam Cinta. Hello.
Pardon me.
Mazhab. They're asking about the mazhab. The Islamic mazhab that you observe, that you
You profess.
Mm.
Yeah, Islamic. Since I know
Which
that
mazhab?
Shafi'i,
mazhab
Maliki,
Yeah.
Shafi'i in
Shafi'i.
Indonesia.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, right. So, what actually are the issues that you like to know coming to us today? What would you like to know?
Well, my client here, Madam Cinta, first would like to know whether first the marriage, the one that they got married in 2015, whether it's valid under the eyes of Malaysian law, and secondly, if that marriage say is not valid, then what is the status of her children then? Is her children uh, uh, legal? I don't know. So what's the status? And thirdly, if there's a delay in the registration of the marriage in Jakarta, to delay if the registration marriage is delayed, then it would it affect my client Cinta's chances to apply for her share of of her inheritance, and also her children's inheritance under Sharia, under Fara'id. Yeah. So, and also, what is the status of the marriage agreement? Yeah, under the Malaysian law, if it's say if there is a prenuptial agreement, what is the status of that under the Malaysian law? If say the agreement is prepared in Indonesian jurisdiction, for example, okay, and fifth, my client would like to know what then it will be. What's your advice if we were to go to court and what's the proceeding to claim for inheritance under Sharia law in the Malaysian courts? We are open, either civil courts or Sharia court. So yeah, we would like to open our options. So maybe you can advise. Yeah. You agree, yeah, Madam Cinta? Just nod if you agree. It's okay. Okay, yeah, she agree.
Okay, now before I proceed
Yes,
further,
agree. Thank you, Tuan Samsul.
Well, welcome.
okay, before we proceed further, I made to understand that there is a marriage agreement prepared. Am I correct?
Yes, I helped prepare that.
Who prepared the document?
I helped prepare it, but Mikhail was the one who generally drafted it. I helped put it into a acceptable format for the Indonesian legal jurisdiction. Yeah.
So is it prepared by Mikhail himself or assisted by you or how?
Now I vetted through it, yeah, but he was the one who put all the terms in it. Yeah.
So the marriage agreement was self-prepared.
Well, I'm not a legal. I'm not a lawyer per se. I'm just a legal advisor in a corporation. So that's it. I just give my input from my legal mind. That's all. Not from my legal expertise, because I'm not a registered lawyer here in Indonesia. No, I'm not an advocate here. No, I'm not.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Now, before I proceed further, I would like to open the question to the other member panel of Nasihin. Datuk Richard, do you have any question to ask? There is no question. Puan Farah? Puan Farah, any question they would like to pose to Puan Cinta or Tuan Samsul, Council Samsul?
Oh, it seems that my client was booted out. I think there's a bit of a connection there. Maybe we'll wait for her to come back.
Yep. Okay, right.
Tuan Shamsul, do you by
Yes,
any
yes,
chance
madam.
know?
Yes.
Do you by any chance know how old are the children?
Oh, yes, yes. They are between 5 and 7 years old. Hello, madam. Yeah, welcome back.
Okay. So they're still young, yeah?
They are, yes, they're little
Hello.
kids.
So you have, yeah, and your children are, how many boys and how many girls do you have?
Madam, they have 2 daughters, 2 girls and 1 boy.
Okay. All right. So I think we've pretty much established the facts. I think, Ami, you've done some independent verification.
Yeah,
So
if I may add just another point here. You see, because Mikhail has 2 families, one in Malaysia and one in Indonesia. So he's not actually like always in one point for an extended period of time. But he's a good father. He was a good father. So he made a point to visit Madam Cinta and the children every month. Yeah.
One.
Madam,
Okay.
yes. I'm sorry, madam. Sorry, we're having a bad connection here. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And when every time he visits, he'll be here in Jakarta between 5 and 7
Yes.
days. Yeah.
Okay, Madam Cinta, may I know whether your late husband has any assets in Indonesia? Madam Cinta, does your husband has any asset in Indonesia? Or maybe Counsel Shamsul can assist?
Yes. I can actually. Yes, he does have asset here. He's quite well to do also. Yeah, he's a very a good connection with the people in Indonesia here. He owns some shares in
Yes,
Lichis.
my husband bought a house for us in Jakarta.
Yeah.
A property.
Okay. Other than that, any other assets, Madam Cinta or Tuan Shamsul?
We
Counsel
have
Shamsul?
property.
Yeah. All in all, the value of his asset is about, if you were to convert it to Malaysian ringgit, it would be estimated around 72 and a 3/4 million ringgit.
Okay. Right. Now,
Yes.
okay. Now, we have received the document from your office, from your Counsel Shamsul's good office. We've made the independent checking with the Indonesian Embassy in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, and the religious authorities in Jakarta. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to inform you that the document is found to be a false document.
Masya Allah. Are you sure about this, Tuan?
Yes. We are in the midst of getting the answer in writing. I was told that there is highly
What should we do,
possibility
Tuan?
that the document that the marriage was a syndicated marriage. It is not recognized by the authority, but somehow the document was issued to reflect as if it comes from the government office.
This cannot be right. This cannot be right. No. Oh. What does this mean then? What does this mean? Masya Allah. What does this mean?
Okay, that is why now we are here to assist you to see how it's best that we can make sure that we find a legal solution for you. Yeah. Now
Ibu
we
Cinta,
have to work.
saya tidak tahu pasal ini ya. Saya minta maaf banyak ya. I have no part in this. I don't know anything. This is news to me. Yeah, Tuan Ami, go ahead.
Okay, usually in a marriage which is illegally called syndicated marriage or nikah siri in Indonesia, I believe, Madam Cinta, right? during this marriage, usually under the pillars under the Islamic law, there are 5 pillars to a marriage, which is husband, which is Mikhail, wife, which is Cinta, and then we have the wali or the guardian. Now the wali has to be appointed by the state, and then there'll be 2 witnesses and offer an acceptance or ijab kabul. Now I suspect that the missing link to all this is the wali, the guardian, which is not appointed by the government. Now,
But we were told he was appointed by authorities. He said so. This Ostad Darma.
that is why I believe that no, this thing happens. This thing happens. So that is why it's always advisable and resourceful to go to proper
Yeah.
channel. To go to proper channel, and the most important thing is to register the marriage as soon as possible, because we have to make sure that the validity of marriage is intact. Now, having said that, okay. Now, assuming now I've got to work on assumption now, because unless and until the Malaysian court decides on the status of a marriage, we're actually discussing on the highly hypothetical and based on assumption, yeah? Because the only forum to determine whether your marriage is valid or not is the Malaysian court. Right? Councillor Samsul, are you with me?
Yes, I'm still trying. MashaAllah.
Madam Cinta, are you still with me? Madam Cinta?
I think it's very distraughtful for her right now. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, now assuming that the document is not authentic.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Yes, of course. But so what should I do with our children? With my children, I just want to secure the inheritance of my children. Since do we have chances to under Syariah?
Okay, now this is the interesting part. Now, under the Malaysian law, okay, to answer the first
We
question,
have any chances to apply for share inheritance under Syariah?
okay, right. Now, this is the interesting part. Now, under the Malaysian law, if the first thing that you have to do is you have to get the Malaysian court recognition on your marriage. So you have to bring the certificate to the Malaysian court. Now, if it is confirmed based on the finding of the Indonesian embassy in Malaysia that the document is not authentic, then highly likely there is no marriage between you and Mikhail.
MashaAllah. But they are innocent bystander.
Yes, I have to admit that. I will have to admit that. But however, the law is the law.
Oh. Even Cinta's internet connection cannot take this news.
I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you know, there is actually some solution to this.
Okay, good to know.
So do we wait for
help us, Tuan? Yes, we wait for Ibu Cinta to come back. Yes.
So okay, Madam Cinta. Now the first part is now assuming that based on the report by the Indonesian embassy that the document is not authentic or the document is false, that chances for you to get your marriage to be recognized under the Malaysian law would be zilch, would be zero. Highly likely. Okay? So that means you cannot claim your right of inheritance as a wife, and you cannot claim your right under the Faraid law, under the jointly acquired property or harta sepencarian, which is usually accorded to a wife between 30% to 50% of the estate before distribution under Faraid or Islamic inheritance law.
Yes.
So you have to forgo that right. You cannot claim that right, assuming that the document is false. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Right.
But
Now,
even if the document is false, but they are victims. They are victims.
as of now, I can only convey to you based on my practice and
Okay.
based on my understanding, there's highly likely that the marriage would not be recognized under the Malaysian law.
Oh, mashallah. Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, now the second question is: assuming that the marriage is not valid, then what will be the status of your children under Sharia?
Hmm.
Is that what you'd like to know,
Yes.
Madam Cinta? Right. Under the Sharia law, if the parties are not aware about the status of their marriage, that means they're married, they assume it to be valid, but it happens to be not valid, then the status of the child would be considered as wati syubhah. Wati syubhah.
What's that?
Okay, wati syubhah means that they are not considered, they're still considered legitimate under the Islamic law, even though the marriage is not recognized under the law. So the position of a children under wati syubhah is that they can inherit their father's property. So that is good news for you.
Okay. Okay, but that is for the children.
For the children, yes. So Puan Cinta cannot inherit Mikhail's asset, but the children can. On the basis that the children is considered Mikhail's children, even though the marriage is not recognized.
Okay. Okay, at least something.
Okay, right. Number 3. Now, the question that was asked is: would the delay
I just for the children.
Okay,
Yes.
understood.
Yes.
So your children's rights are secured under the Islamic under the laws of Faraid, yeah? Subject to the going through the process of the Malaysian court. So basically, even though your marriage is not valid under the Malaysian law, my invitation to you or my advice to you is that for you to still go to the Syariah court, right, and try to get the marriage let the court evaluate and decide the status of the marriage, and even though it is deemed to be not valid, but the children can still claim under the Sharia.
Where here in Indonesian court or there in Malaysia?
In the Malaysian court.
Malaysia.
Court.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Now, number 3, your question is whether the delay of registration of marriage in Jakarta would affect your chances of your share and your children's share under the Sharia. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, now had Mikhail, actually the person who can initiate the what we call the registration of marriage can either start from the wife or the husband. It doesn't have to be the husband alone. It can be from anybody, either party.
Okay.
Now, my take is that had you registered the marriage earlier in Kuala Lumpur, it would have what we call give you the opportunity to know the status of the marriage certificate earlier.
Okay.
Right. So you have known whether the marriage was valid or not from the beginning. The earlier, that's why.
Sorry, Tuan Amir. When you say registration of marriage in Jakarta, means registration of marriage in the Malaysian embassy in Jakarta, is it? Or
yes, and also in Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
Either one.
Because we are under the assumption that it's all registered with the Jakarta authorities.
Exactly.
But we're talking about the Malaysian embassy in Jakarta.
Malaysian embassy in Jakarta and Jawi, Jawi or the religious authority in Kuala Lumpur.
Right.
The religious authority.
Right. Okay.
The reason why you have to report it to the Malaysian authority is based on the fact that Mikhail is a Malaysian. So that's why you have to report to the Malaysian authority.
Yes.
Okay. Number 4, the question of the marriage agreement under the Malaysian law prepared in Indonesia. Sorry, the status of marriage agreement prepared in Indonesia.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Now, usually the court would give recognition to the marriage agreement,
Okay.
provided there is a valid marriage.
Okay. Yes. Understand.
However, in this case, the status of the marriage is a question mark. Now, I'm not
Okay.
okay. Now, my invitation to you is, regardless of what we advise you today, the right forum to determine the status of your marriage would be the Malaysian court. It's not
Okay.
me. I'm
Okay.
just giving my advice based on the documents availed to me.
Okay. So
Okay.
the question of recognition with the Indonesian government does not really play a factor here. Is in the Malaysian court, is it?
Yes. Now, this is based on the fact in our brief stating that Mikhail's asset is worth 72 million.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And 3/4.
In 3/4, and I was made to understand that actually this asset is not only in Indonesia but also in other jurisdiction.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a multiple jurisdiction asset.
Mm.
Okay, and number 5, you would like to ask a general advice.
Hold on. Regarding the marriage. Oh, okay. So if the court does not recognize, the Malaysian court does not recognize the marriage, then this prenuptial agreement would then be you call it void ab initio. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
It is void from the beginning.
Right.
Okay. And finally, general advice on the proceeding to claim inheritance under the Syariah law in Malaysia. Now, Malaysia practice a dual court system. Puan Farah, I stand corrected on this. Malaysia practices a dual court system, whereby we have the Syariah court and the civil court.
Mm.
Usually, the claim of inheritance would commence on the civil court.
Okay.
So, we will start with collating the list of assets and liabilities, together with the list of beneficiaries.
Okay.
So in this case, subject to the court confirming that the status of the marriage, as of now, we have to assume that the beneficiary would be Diana, the first wife, her 2 daughters, and the
Diana got children. Okay.
Okay, and the children and the 3 children between Madam Cinta and Mikhail.
Yes.
Okay, however, Madam Cinta cannot be included as part of the beneficiary.
MashaAllah. Well, okay, we take what we have. Yes.
Right. Okay, and because there are minors involved, when Madam Cinta's children is below 18, the civil court would request that there be a minimum of 2 administrators to administer the estate.
Okay.
Right. And on the part of the Syariah court, the Syariah court function is to determine who are the beneficiaries, and based on the beneficiaries, which as of now would be Puan Diana, her 2 daughters, and the 3 children of Madam Cinta and Mikhail. Then, based on the court's finding, they will issue what we call the Faraid certificate or inheritance certificate.
Okay.
With that,
but if say the Malaysian court then recognizes the marriage, then Madam Cinta can be in the picture as well.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Can
Okay,
I-
so
Sorry. Yes, Puan Farah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I think just to make it simpler for you, Cinta, can you hear me? Cinta? Okay, just to make it simpler, I think what we'll have to do first, as a first step, is actually to determine the status of your marriage, just like Don Haji Amir said. Yeah. So basically, before I'm of the view that in order for you to be able to assert a claim, we should first determine whether your marriage is valid here in Malaysia. Yeah. The reason is that if a marriage is not valid, there could not have been a divorce. If the marriage is not valid, there could not have been an inheritance. So it's a very, very basic principle.
Yes, logic. Yes.
Yeah. So the first step to do is what do you call that? Sahkan. They call it farak.
Yeah.
To sahkan perkahwinan tu. So
Yeah.
itu pertama. That's the first step. With that, of course, considering that we've got a deceased husband, so we need to adduce evidence and things like that. Betul, Amir?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So all the
after
evidence will be solely based on documents, then documentary evidence. Yes.
looks like it. So
Okay.
I'm sure you probably will have to be a witness as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything for Cinta. Oh, I mean, Madam Cinta. Yes.
And then with regards to, because the assets are here in Malaysia, so we have to start the application here in Malaysia because he is a Malaysian domicile. Yeah. So because of that, and in order for you to claim Malaysian assets, so the jurisdiction of the Malaysian court come into play as well. Okay, so there are two parts to it: Malaysian asset and also Malaysian domicile. So your marriage have to be recognized in Malaysia. And then with regards to how the assets going to be distributed, that is the hukum syarat part, which is the sijil faraid. So once you have obtained the court's determination of the validity of your marriage, then we can apply for sijil faraid. So let's do it step by step, right?
Okay.
So when we go to sijil faraid, when we make an application, it's for sijil faraid. With the certification and the determination of your validity of your marriage, so you can be included as one of the wives, entitled to 1/8 to be shared equally with Diana.
Good.
Then
Okay.
the rest of the children will come into play. So that would be the process for you, the process that will take place. Well, we lost Cinta again.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
she's very sad, very distraught, but it's okay. It will come back. Yes. Yeah. Please proceed, madam. Yeah, people, I can tell her this. Yeah, I can relay everything. Yeah, she's back. She's back.
Yeah.
Sorry, my connection.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
It's
Are you
okay.
okay, Cinta?
Yeah.
Not really.
Understandable. Indonesia got no unify. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, was I clear just now, Cinta?
Part of maybe Tuan Samsu will
Yeah, I will come over personally to your house, madam, and I can
Yeah.
talk to you
I
further
need-
over coffee.
Okay.
Yes, and
Yeah, so
dinner.
let's-
Yes.
Right. So, as Tuan Amir mentioned just now, you need, for purposes of identifying beneficiaries, you need to go to Syariah Court. So, sijil faraid will be issued. After, in your case, after the sijil faraid has been issued, then, and because the children are small, are young, yeah, they are below 18 years old. So, between Diana and you, both of you will just have to go to the civil court to make an application for the grant of letters of administration. Yeah. So
Would that be a lengthy process? How long would normally take?
well, nowadays with we currently during the MCO you can't do anything. Yeah. But after the MCO, we can start fighting.
Madam Cinta, MCO means lockdown. We don't use that term here in Indonesia, but yeah. Yes, it means lockdown of COVID-19. Yes. Sorry, Madam Farah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So assuming we are not locked down, generally it can be done quite fast. When once the paperwork is all done, you can get your letter of administration within 3 months. Or if there's a certificate of urgency, there's a necessity, the court can grant you an earlier date and you can get it within 2.5 months, 2 months. But we don't dare promise, but 3 months is quite fair to expect.
This is including the hearing for the determination of the legitimacy of the marriage. Is it?
Oh, that's a separate issue because that
that's
depends on-
separate.
Yeah. So that's why I said.
Can it go together?
Step. Sorry?
Can it go together or you must settle that one first?
I think we have to settle that one first because otherwise you'll
Yes.
be missing the boat.
Yes.
Okay.
Puan
So,
Cinta,
one
sorry.
step at a time. Sorry.
Puan Farah, you like to add anything? You like to add anything else?
No, but I think because of the fact that you told us that there is also a house in Jakarta, I think you will need a an Indonesian lawyer to look into that. Yeah. And I'm not quite sure as far as the validity of marriage, how the Indonesian law looks at it. I understand Indonesian law is also quite strict with regards to to determination of marriage. Yeah, I've had some matters before. So yeah, so when it comes to inheritance, if the marriage was not properly registered in Indonesia based on the statutory law, you may have trouble also making a claim for the asset that he left behind in Jakarta. But if the assets are in your name, then that's a different matter. Yeah.
We
Okay.
will look into that here.
Yes, Dato'.
Dato'?
Sorry, can I clarify the house and the asset in Jakarta? They are in whose name?
It's under Mikhail's name.
So there you go.
There we go.
What? Madam Cinta, can I ask you a personal question if it's not if acceptable?
Ya, Tuan Amir.
Now that Mikhail has passed on, how do you survive with the children?
In fact, I have no job anymore because since I have 3 children, so I resigned from my late job, late profession, so late job, and now I think I should, I have to try to find another job or some alternative to support my children, until they can sufficient in education and in their life and health. That's for sure.
And Mikhail was Cinta is a very lucky woman. Mikhail was a very loving husband, very loving father, and he provided for the family here in Jakarta. So he been giving the monthly nafkah also to Madam Cinta, which Madam Cinta has been very frugal about it. So you can live by that for the time being. And I've been helping out too during this difficult time.
Just for the sake of discussion, Dato', how could have this been more acceptable or palatable in terms of planning? Would trust money or LLP would have been help Madam Cinta in this case, Dato'?
Well, it looks like Mikhail has gone to heaven, but he has left hell behind. So if he had thought a little bit more and arranged his affairs, I mean his financial affairs, in proper structures, then I think we would not be here tonight trying to resolve the problem. So if he had perhaps met with some good lawyers before, and structured his affairs both in Malaysia and Indonesia and globally, he could have come up with some very simple structures, whether it's by way of wills, trusts, foundations in Malaysia and overseas, to make sure that the assets are properly identified, the assets are properly put in place, and that instructions are left behind for what is to happen for when he departs the earth. Unfortunately, that was not done, but perhaps as a lesson for our future clients or for other people, is that you should make arrangements in whatever form you can to make sure that your children, your loved ones, are cared for. Now, obviously, you have the complication of multiple families and multiple jurisdictions, but we could have structured everything without either wife ever knowing. So things could be done to resolve. I think the concern Mikhail had about his wife flipping, the wife in Kuala Lumpur, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You know, but perhaps a lot of people very young, they don't think they will ever die. A lot of people sometimes are pantang to think about death, and some people just say they want to leave it to God and to Farai. But that's a choice one makes in life, but then one creates a problem for others in death.
You're absolutely right, Dato. I think Mikhail, God rest. Well, may his soul rest in peace. I think Mikhail suffered the impression that you rightfully put that a lot of people are under, is that he thought that he would live until a ripe old age, and that nothing untoward would happen. So he, just like most people out there, I suppose, they never prepare for uneventualities like this. Yes.
Interestingly, in Malaysia, we have one trustee company called a Global Asset Trustee that creates a cash trust. That means if you deposit money in the cash trust, in case of untimely death, or rather in this particular case, when Allah decides. When the time comes, you go, right? Within 1 week of the demise of the person, of the deceased, the family nominated in the trust cash would receive the money.
Okay.
So because usually in asset planning, the first money that is to come is usually either insurance money is, or takaful. That'll be the fastest. Okay, but now we have a global asset trustee coming up with cash trust. Within 7 days, the money will be paid to the beneficiaries.
Wow.
So things are becoming high tech in Malaysia and worldwide. So it's but it's most importantly is the art of planning. So Madam Cinta, do you have any other question, or Counsel Samshul, you have any question to ask before we adjourn tonight?
Ibu ada soalan mau ditanya.
Is there any possible ways that I can discuss with the first wife of my late husband, which is who is Miss Diana? Is there any kind of what should we do next? What should I talk to her if
Is it advisable?
Yeah. How?
Okay, usually I think I left this question to Puan Farah. Puan Farah would like to take this question.
Yeah, I think we just have to be pragmatic about things. Yeah, since it has all happened. The first thing you should do, I think you need to contact her, because you do have children whom you would want to inherit from his estate. And you would want their names to be included. So being practical is about contacting Diana, informing her to include your children. In the meantime, if you are aware, if I'm your lawyer, you're aware that there are assets which is in his name, particularly properties, immovable assets, you may want to lodge a private caveat for the time being, depending on. It's a bit tricky, yeah, because you don't have a valid marriage. So we've got to find ways to lodge in a private caveat to protect your interests in the meantime. But that interest is just a caveatable interest depending on your rights. So you've got to do a few things to protect yourself as well. Yeah. So as I mentioned just now, I think it's best for you to contact Diana and see how it goes. There's another way to look at it. Assuming Diana is amicable enough to accept you, she could actually, from the context of mutual agreement, allow you to share whatever assets there are. Okay, whether or not the marriage has been have been validly, recognized, that could just be a formality. So I think there is nothing wrong contacting her to see what the position will be.
Oh yeah.
Then you have to assess the situation.
There is, of course, the risk that Madam Diana might engage a lawyer as well to advise her to protect her interests as well, and she might also advise not to relent if the marriage, this marriage is not valid.
we had the opportunity to speak to Puan Diana before
Okay.
this,
Okay.
and she's a God-fearing person. That's why in her communication with Madam Cinta, she said that the children's right are guaranteed, subject to
Alhamdulillah.
recognition by the Malaysian court. She
There
wants to
you
give
go. Subject to recognition. That's the
subject to
key word there.
recognition.
Yes.
Okay, right. So maybe if I can pick the wisdom from Datuk Richard, how would you would start the first conversation with Diana? Do you send feelers, Datuk? Probably a legal representation. How would you do it
No,
from your perspective?
I don't think you need a degree in law of accountancy. You need a degree in psychology to do this. This is about
Mm.
feelings and egos and emotions. My guess is to reach out via mutual contacts or through friendly parties. Even sometimes the use of lawyers or professionals may be too maybe
Intimidating, I suppose. Yes.
difficult.
Good
Okay.
idea, Dato.
The other
Right.
thing in terms about planning for both families. Now, if I'm Mikhail now watching down on earth from wherever I am, and I'm seeing what's happening now, and my assets in Malaysia and in Jakarta are now going to go basically to the control of both or one wife and their children, then to me there's also the risk that some of my former wives may remarry, and you know what happens in those future marriages. Those new spouses may gain access to my assets. So, in a perfect world, if Mike Mikhail had structured these properly and put in appropriate vehicles, he would ensure that in the event of his untimely death, that the assets would remain within the bloodline of his family, and that assets would not be dissipated by future marriages of his former wives,
Yes.
legal or otherwise, and put to the benefit of his children and their future children. That's why we call this a multi-generational family asset planning globally. Thank you.
Okay, Datuk,
Very
thank
good,
you very
Dato.
much for sharing your wisdom. Probably Council Shamsul like to consider multi-generational asset planning.
Yes. Yes. I think we should. We should. Yes.
Okay, right. So we're coming to an end of our session tonight, and before I end, I would like to know, go around the table, how would you describe this conversation that we had today in one word?
Mm.
Can I can I start with Tuan Samsul?
Yes. Yes. One word. Enlightening. Enlightening.
Enlightening.
Enlightening. MashaAllah. Yes.
Puan Cinta? Puan Cinta? Can you hear me?
Ya, Tuan.
How would you describe our conversation
can you
today? How would you describe our conversation today in one word?
That's a lag. A lag. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. A lag. Yeah.
Okay, Puan Farah, if I may go, if I ask you?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually surprisingly and quiet. Yeah, it is the most important thing that
Mm-hmm. Surprising. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You can see she's very heartbroken. Yes.
Puan Farah, what would your one word be for tonight?
Problematic.
Problematic. Datuk?
Resolution.
Resolution.
I like that word.
For me, it is compassion. Now, let me explain why I say it's compassion. The marriage is not valid, yet the children can inherit. What more a compassion could that be? You know, under the Islamic legal system.
Yes.
I mean, under Islamic legal system, the marriage is not valid, yet the children could
Yeah. The
inherit.
children. The children
I mean,
will remain protected. Yes.
the wife cannot claim, but the children can. Oh, mashallah, that's a beauty, magic.
Yeah.
Shamsul, sorry, Tuan Shamsul, what was your one word just now? You say
Enlightening.
Okay, why do you say it's enlightening in one sentence?
Well, because talking to all of you experts here, it really opens up my mind. So because I'm not an expert in Sharia law, so I find this very, very enlightening. I get to learn. You are absolutely right, mashallah. It's I don't believe there are any secular system which protects this, because I think most secular system, in the absence of a prenuptial agreement, is that if the marriage is considered invalid, therefore everything crumbles. But not in Islamic principles. I think that's very good to know.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Puan Cinta. Your one
Ibu,
word separate.
they
Ibu
don't call
Cinta.
Puan there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Bu, Ibu Cinta.
She's without words at the moment.
Lots of words. Okay. Puan Farah, you're problematic. Can you share with us why is it a problematic?
Ya Tuan.
Sorry, what is? You said what was your
Yeah.
one word just now?
The most
Okay, it's okay. Puan Farah, why was it problematic to you, if I may ask?
the most we have to concern about the authenticity of certificate of the marriage. So it is important for especially for women and children to protect their rights. Yeah, after if somehow the documents marriage is important, really important to make sure that it is really registered and valid in Indonesia, especially. Yeah, we actually at the first time we have to make sure about that.
Wow. Okay.
Well said. Beautifully said. Yes.
Puan Farah, if I may ask, problematic. Why would it be?
I think I'm speaking from the point of view of legal. You might think that your paperwork is in order, but it is not, because the substance of the law have not been addressed, right? So you may have your birth cert, you have your marriage cert, but you are left with something that you couldn't do much with. So from the legal point of view, you cannot look at the surface. So it creates problem. And had he followed Malaysian law to ask for consent, maybe it could have been different. The path would have been different, and maybe he would have realized it earlier, and therefore he would have registered in Malaysia the marriage. And by then, before the children even came, the problem would have been found out much earlier.
Yeah. There are victims, a lot of unscrupulous people out there. Yes, thank you.
I think the lesson that we are trying to, when Haji Amir is trying to relay here, is the importance of having a properly valid ceremony.
Diligence is key in this. Yes. Yeah.
And passion gives you problems sometimes. So
Indeed, yes.
And that is compassion. I totally agree.
Yeah, it involves the heart. The heart will do what the heart wants to do. Yes.
Datuk, do you care to explain your one word, Datuk, just now?
Resolution.
Well, we have a problem. We need a solution. Resolution.
Yes.
Okay. But the thing is, sometimes the solution that we have, the solution that we sought, that we are seeking, sometimes, because the issues were not properly addressed, then it will create more problem in the end.
Correct.
So I think that's important why the public should engage the right professionals to make sure that all documents are in order. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Broadcasting live from Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for sharing your precious life and time, parting your words of wisdom. And inshallah, we shall meet again next week. Till then, let's end with the recitation of Suratul Asr and Tasbih Kafarah. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Thank you very much, until we meet again. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Cinta.
You
Nanti saya ke
Thank
rumah ya.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.